on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Ryan, and we're not in the Chaos Garage today, so we got Chaos on location. This garage is actually where I cut my teeth for modifying vehicles. So we're at my mom's house, so this is the OG garage, and I've done a mini project in here, but the Chaos Garage is actually overflowing, so our poor Mustang is having to live here until we can clear enough space in the Chaos Garage to get her back. But in the meantime, I installed the Saleen S-281 Extreme hood on the car a while back, and to me it just kind of looks a little plain, a little naked. It's too much white. So I've kind of got like the black and white theme going with the blackout panel. We got some rocker panel stripes on the side that are black, white wheels. So I kind of like that, the black and white theme. Well, the hood itself, even though it's got the vents, it doesn't really stand out that it has vents. So when you see it coming down the road, it's just too plain. You see it in the parking lot. I don't know, I need something to kind of make it, again, stand out. So what I'm gonna do is I got some masking tape, and before I do any project that I work with vinyl, I kind of want to lay it out, and the cheap way to do so is with the masking tape. So I bought black masking tape, and I've kind of got a few ideas that I want to try on the hood and for some black accents. So I either want to do some striping or potentially accent like the vent itself. Either thinking kind of follow the cowl part of the hood itself, maybe stripes on each side, or accenting the actual vents themselves. The cheapest trick I know of is I've got some black masking tape, and on the run just the different varieties, so that way I can kind of get a visual. And because I'm not that good with Photoshop, so plus I like to see it in real life, just kind of see it from all different angles and everything. But go ahead and throw this masking tape on the hood and kind of work out the different variations and see what I like best. This is how she's sitting now, and like I said, it's just a little too plain looking for my taste. I feel like I would like to kind of draw attention to the fact that it does have the Saleen hood on there. I've got like 4 different like renditions kind of worked out in my head. So I think I want to do like some stripes to follow the cowl. Just 3, I want to follow like 3 of the outlines of the vents themselves. Then I kind of want to do a combo, and then a 4 vent layout, and then just a stripe layout. So yeah, I think that's 4 total different renditions that we'll go through. So number 1, we'll start with following the outline of the cowl on each side and go from there and see what I think about that. So rendition number 1 was the easiest to do, but it's also kind of like the simplest, the cleanest, and it does break it up a lot. I just don't know if it's too plain for my taste. And actually looking at it, I almost feel like the stripes kind of end in a weird spot, and I'll show you why. So definitely gives a little more character, but the reason I said it's kind of funky, kind of wonky looking is I feel like it almost needs to carry down into, I'm gonna call it this tray portion under the Mustang. I feel like that would be the only way I could pull this look off potentially. And I've seen some guys where they basically do the whole center dip down into that tray all black, but I don't know that I want to go that extreme, because I think then that will take away from our vents. Like if everything's black, you wouldn't even notice. So I don't know, we'll kind of go into rendition number 2. So the next one I want to try, there's actually like 4 vents, but the one on the back is so tiny. I think I'm gonna try to accentuate like just these first 3 and see what I think about that. Rendition number 2 done, and you're gonna use your imagination with me, just because 1, this North Carolina humidity is no joke. I'm boiling out here in this garage, but then 2, because it is so hot, it's causing the tape not to want to stick. So it's kind of pushing up, and I don't know, like I said, use your imagination, but this is rendition number 2. So my first impressions is, I think with the 2 cowl lines, I think it's a little too much at this point. So I think it's either gonna have to be one or the other. So it's either gonna have to be just the cowl lines or maybe just the hood vents. My thought process for this though was to kind of accentuate like the whole outline as well as the vents themselves. So if you kind of notice, I only did 3 of these. So there's actually kind of like a 4th little jut out vent. So that's gonna be rendition number 3, is I'm gonna continue our black striping up into this 4th spot. And then our 3rd rendition, we just stepped up that 4th little vent, covered that area. So I don't think that looks bad either, but I think it's still the cowl stripes is what's throwing me off. So eventually the next step, I'm gonna pull the cowl stripe off. So that'll be kind of like our 4th rendition, and then on the pull of the top. So just have 3, that'll be our, I guess, 5th rendition. But just wanted to kind of try out all the different ways that I might like it. But I'm thinking probably just the vent covered, either just the 3 or maybe the 4, but without these cowl stripes. Now we're getting somewhere. So I think just the black vent hoods, I think that's spot on. I think the vent hoods in the black is just enough to kind of break up the monotony of too much white. So I think without some kind of black accent, it just, I don't know, it just looked plain, too boring. I mean, like I said, I know it is a Saleen hood and it looks good on its own, but I always just felt like it was missing something. So now I gotta determine, what are we thinking? The 4 stripes or just the 3? Remove the 4th stripe. Now I'm so torn. I don't know. I don't know if like the accentuation on the outline that leads up onto the hood, it's like the top part of the hood, if it's kind of too empty without that 4th bar across. I don't know. Both look good. I definitely think cow's out, some kind of hood vent is in. I just don't know, yeah, 4 or 3. Decisions. So these trailing arms is kind of what I'm questioning, just because is it too much blank whiteness without that 4th, what I'm calling the bar? So without this 4th bar, is that just too much going up the sides? That's what I just can't determine. So I at least know that I'm gonna go with the vent striping. I'm gonna call in the pros. So if it was just gonna be the cowls, I was gonna attempt to do that myself, like just because they're so easy. But because it's kind of the intricacies of that little ridge, I don't know, I just don't trust myself doing that. So rather not waste the money on vinyl and that kind of stuff, I'll just take it to a pro, have them knock it out. But I don't know. In the meantime, I'm gonna kind of compare some side-by-side pictures of the 3 bar versus the 4 bar, and then we'll see what we go with. And we're back. And so is the Mustang, and it's looking killer. Huge shout out to PT Custom Graphics. Peter and his wife crushed this hood wrap. So they used like the gloss black vinyl to match our side rocker stripes. And even with the little intricacies of the hood vent itself, I mean, they did a phenomenal job. I highly recommend, if you're in the Raleigh area, I'll be sure to leave their information below. But took their time, absolutely nailed my design. So I showed them kind of like our mock-up pictures, and honestly it does help, so that way he's got a visual of what I'm after, and then was able to just bring that vision to reality, and it's even better than expected. So we ended up going with the 4 bar. I just think it kind of filled up the hood a little more and just made it, I don't know, gave it that perfect touch of black on the hood. So couldn't be more pleased. And not only did he do the hood, but to tie in with the black, I asked him if he could got the rear bumper letter inserts. So I got those knocked out in black as well. So I think there's just enough black detail around the car to kind of break up a lot of the white. So you have to let me know what you think in the comments below. But I could not be more happier with the way this car is looking. But I really appreciate everybody watching. If you have not already, subscribe to the channel. We'll catch you in the next one.